We're at the Amerant Bank Arena, beautiful Sunrise, Florida. And Doug Plagens is joining us here at our broadcast table. He'll be on the call tonight. Now, the game tonight is on AM 790. That's where you listen to the Panthers. It's the only local broadcast again because TV is on TNT tonight.
Yep.
So, Plagens, if you want to hear the local call, go ahead, Plagens. Give them the hack. If they want to match up the radio call, you can use the Odyssey app. You could do it on 790. They want to match up the radio call with what they're seeing on TNT.
The free Odyssey app, no less.
Free
Odyssey app. You can pause your TV at a whistle and then hit play on your TV when you hear that same whistle on the radio broadcast, and you'll have it all synced up. You can do that for any game you want.
There you go.
Genius.
Tonight is Aaron Ekblad mini bobblehead night.
Yes.
Now, you're a collector. Today is also a big day in the history of Channing Crowder. I would imagine you know that, being a Channing Crowder collector. I'll get to that. But tonight they're giving away these Aaron Ekblad mini bobbleheads. You collect cards, right? That's the main focus of your memorabilia.
Yeah.
Bobbleheads, is that a big thing in your world?
I like baubles.
Do you collect them?
I would say I like getting them, and I have a collection of ones that I have gotten actually over in the offices in here at Amerant Bank Arena. There might be a window you can see from the outside. There's a whole row of bobbleheads that you can, I believe you can see it from the outside in one area of the building. I sit right by there. Those are all bobbleheads that either belong to me or Jameson Olive from FloridaPanthers.com.
But you're not a bobblehead collector per se.
I collect them in that when I get them, I put it with the rest of my bobbleheads, and I amass a collection of bobbleheads. I'm not going
go out of your way
finding bobbleheads necessarily. I think it goes with the event that you attended. I mean, if I happen to go to a bobblehead night at, it could be anywhere when I'm out of town on a baseball trip. I remember one time my buddy and I were in Milwaukee, and it happened to be Travis Shaw bobblehead night that night. He used to play for the Brewers. And I still have my Travis Shaw bobblehead because it kind of becomes a memento from, hey, that one time we went to Miller Park and we went to that Brewers game and we got a Travis Shaw bobblehead. So it goes with it's almost like collecting ticket stubs. You collect it from the event that you attended. It's a memento from that event.
Do you leave them in the box? Because I got cussed out for taking bobbleheads out of the box.
You're supposed to leave them in the box.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends. Yeah, I think some you leave in there, some you don't.
But like even your cards that you collect, obviously you have them in, the protective casing.
If it's a card that warrants that sort of treatment.
But will you ever take out, what's your most valuable card? Have you ever told us?
My Jordan rookie.
Jordan, so what's that worth?
A few grand.
Okay. Would you ever take it out to handle it?
So when you get them graded, and I get a lot of my higher end stuff graded. You get it graded, it's like in a slab, they call it. It's like a plastic sealed holder. So I can't take the card out.
Sealed. I got you.
You can snap them out. I've done that. But it takes like a pair of pliers and some finesse to get them out of the thing. But you could hold it. It's totally protected. You could drop it, you're fine because it's in one of these things. It's like a helmet for your card, basically. And it says the grade on it, and it says what it is, and it authenticates it as well.
Did you get that by luck, or did you search that out? And
I picked it up a while back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it's increased in value?
It's probably about in the neighborhood. It's been an up and down ride, but it's probably about what I paid for it.
Interesting. Yeah. How's your Crowder card collection going?
Very good. Yeah. I'm working on the project is getting close to being done.
Really?
The project is getting close to being done. The project, for the listeners who are wondering, there's a particular Channing Crowder card that has all these different variations from his rookie year, 2005. It's the Leaf Rookies and Stars. And there's like a numbered to 50, a numbered to 99, a 150, a 199, a 250, a 499, a 999, a base version. My goal is to acquire all of them, have them all autographed. It'll be the single greatest series of Channing Crowder memorabilia that exists
in the world, right?
Yes. Now I tried the one I don't have. The only one I don't have is the one that there's only 50 of. And as documented on this program, I tried to buy it in the summer, and the individual who I tried to buy it from said he refunded me and said, sorry, I listed that. Was 14 years ago or something, and I can't find it.
But he's just playing coy. He's just trying to get a few
I think he realized what a commodity that is, and he suddenly didn't want to part with it.
Up and down.
That's what happened.
That's how the market works. Today is the anniversary of Crowder's interception against Tom Brady And
You got the football, right?
Yes, I got
Yeah.
the house.
and now does that have value to anyone
absolutely.
other than him?
Absolutely,
It does. Monetary
Absolutely.
value.
Absolutely, it would. I mean, maybe I'm speaking for some people, but I'm sure there are some Dolphins fans in the audience first and foremost who would love to have that football. Number one, I'm sure because it was a Tom Brady interception, I'm sure there are people that would be drawn to it for that reason. I would love to see that football signed by Channing Crowder and Tom Brady personally.
Well, we asked him today, would he have Tom Brady sign it? And that's
I don't know Tom,
do.
but I feel like he'd get a kick out of it at this point. Tom seems pretty laid back these days.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to that beach he plays on somewhere in Florida and just walk around and wait for him. But I've seen him at events, and I never clicks that I'm gonna see Tom Brady. But the next event I'm at, if I think about it, I'm gonna go have him sign it.
To Channing, good read. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
What would he, if he wanted to put that on the market? What do you think he could get for that? If he said, "I am now selling the ball," would you ever sell it?
No,
You would never sell it.
Kids are gonna have that ball.
But if you wanted to sell it,
It's impossible because it's one of those when there are truly unique.
you work
things,
with fanatics, right? Don't they take unique things sometimes? And
I think they have a department that
Yeah.
requires certain things like that, but it's impossible when you have something so unique. Now there's different levels of it because you look at something like a Michael Jordan rookie card. That is honestly, it's not a rare card. The thing is, though, every single person who collects sports memorabilia would love to have one of those. So there's always a demand, even though it's not difficult to find, but it's the most liquid sports card really that you could have because you're always going to be able to sell those. There's always a demand. Now, with something ultra unique, it's nearly impossible to put a value on it because, as they always say, it only takes one person. One person walks up and has to have that item.
Yeah.
There's no sales history of it. We don't know what it has gone for. Sometimes you have things you can compare sales with certain items, but with something that's totally unique, you just never know. All it takes is one person to come along and say, "Hey,
right, if it's got value to them,
I need that."
That's what happened with my old school Gator car.
Right.
It was like a 1983. I put all this money into it in 05. And then I tried to sell it it was 4 or 5 years ago. And they appraised it for like 20 grand. And I'm putting it in these little auto trader books and nobody's offering anything. And one dude was like, "Why don't you take this to Gainesville where everybody knows you and they're Gator fans?" Went up there and sold it for triple.
There you go.
Yeah, you're right. It takes one person to have a value.
And for it to be up for sale at the exact perfect time on the platform or in the setting where it's going to get the perfect eyeballs on it, you can never predict stuff like that.
I do want to talk Panthers with Plagens, but he's also one of our go-to food guys, and we had a conversation today about Taco Bell. We had a conversation about several
I'm an
things.
expert in that.
So, do you like Taco Bell?
Love it.
So do I.
It's part of the fabric of Doug Plagens.
I think
maybe
it's a
more
treat.
so than anything else out there in the whole world of food. There might not be anything that's more part of the fabric of me than Taco Bell.
It tastes good,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Not real meat.
It sure is.
They've done some significant work out there in Irvine, and they've improved the quality from what I gather. I've been eating Taco Bell as long as I can remember. I still go there regularly. Remember when the Panthers went to Helsinki and played the Jets, those 2 games back in 2018?
Yep.
Well, after the games, because they were 8:00 local time starts, if I recall, the games ended late. We were staying in downtown Helsinki. What was open and ready to serve me? Downtown Helsinki's Taco Bell.
I mean, that
And it was
sounds like
outstanding.
a dream scenario, a dream trip.
I went back-to-back nights.
I mean, now, do you ever get the cinnamon twists?
Not really. No, I don't think I've had cinnamon twists in well over a decade.
Solana has the cinnamon twists on his Mount Rushmore of Taco Bell food items.
The cinnamon twists make me think of the 1990s.
Right, because that's the last time they sold one.
Yeah, that was the.
It's generally like when they serve them to you, that's when they made them.
Yep.
Right.
I've never had the breakfast.
You ever had a Taco Bell breakfast, Solana?
Never had the breakfast either, Doug.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
But I am a regular Taco Bell go.
So what's your go-to? Just tacos, burritos?
I like the taco. I like just the regular tacos. I think that the Dorito Locos taco is good. I think the quesadilla, the chicken quesadilla is good. I like off the I don't even know what they call them on the value menu. They've got a chicken burrito and a beef burrito on there that are both really good. I forget what the names of them even are. I just like the picture and I hit the touch.
And you always got to go straight home. you can't eat Taco Bell and go hang out the rest of the
No, I'll often go to Taco Bell and then go to Walmart because the one over here at the Walmart's right across the street.
I mean, time of your life.
Yeah.
He really
wait about an hour and a half.
nah.
Go to the border and then rolling back prices. And
You got to build up that callus. Got to build up that callus. Yeah, I think Taco Bell gets a bad rap. I think it's very good.
it's outstanding.
I'm
It's
glad
outstanding.
you,
And I will be a defender of Taco Bell until the very end.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. Let's talk some Panthers here. But I'm forget about the loss to the Islanders at home here for a second. The 3-game Canadian road trip was a smashing success.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have gone better, and it almost did, by the way. But 5 points out of 6, like, they got to feel good coming home after that. Obviously, you didn't want to lose the Islanders, but
Yeah, 5 out of 6 points on the trip. Played well enough to get all 6 points. The penalty kill was outstanding. That's the first thing that I think of from that trip, really. They were 18 for 18 on the penalty kill combined over those 3 games. Everybody chipped in. There was, all 3 games were really different. So that was that's been a hallmark trait of this team, to win games a lot of different ways. And the Panthers, Paul Maurice said as much. They weren't crazy about the Winnipeg game at home before they went on that trip. So he was especially happy with the way that the team responded, the full body of work over those 3 games. And it was a statement week for the Panthers against 3 Atlantic Division teams that are all in different places in the standings, but that doesn't undervalue any of those 3 games, because games within your division, like any sport, those are the biggest games that you're going to play during the regular season to get that separation. So it was a great week. And then the game against the Islanders on Saturday, the Panthers were happy with a lot of what they did. A lot of nights they're going to win that game just based on the way that game went. Ilya Sorokin for the Islanders was just outstanding in net and made 42 saves, and sometimes that's going to happen. So they were happy with a lot of what they did there. And now tonight is a big test against Dallas. This is one of those teams, I've said it a couple times, if the Panthers are fortunate enough to get back to the Cup final this year, this is the kind of team that they could be facing. Dallas is one of those top teams over there in the West that has aspirations to make a deep run. So whether it's Dallas, Vegas, Colorado, those are really, LA's kind of put itself into that mix. We'll see if Edmonton gets hot in the second half of the year. I know they were a hot pick before the season, but Dallas is another one of those teams like the Panthers. You go up and down their lineup. There aren't really any holes with what the Dallas Stars bring to the table as long as they're healthy.
And it's funny you say that, because when I was reading up about this game, I think Paul Maurice said, he was like, these teams are very similar.
Yes.
And we know the Panthers are very good. I guess they have deep rosters and all that. Isn't that scary for tonight? They're on national TV for a reason, but what's going to be the difference in this game? Because there has to be one.
Well, both teams are really solid defensively. Both teams have really good goaltenders. Both teams can score. It might come down to, one big play at some point, because I think it's going to be played pretty tightly. I wouldn't expect, a 7-6 game out there tonight. So I think it's going to be played pretty tightly, and it could come down to who comes up with the one big play. I'd think something in the maybe 3-2, 4-3 range for tonight's game. I just think it's going to be a tight one.
are the Panthers where you thought they would be after 24 games?
Yeah, I thought they were going to be a contender, and that's where they are right now. And I think huge credit goes to, first of all, Bill Zito and the hockey ops department and the coaching staff, because you had a lot of new faces coming in here, and there were a lot of guys that were identified that have come in here and played some big minutes with some key players out. You look at, Ekblad and Montour and Bennett were out for a big chunk of the early stage of the season, and the Panthers' depth was put to the test, and it passed every one of those tests to be able to come in and not only keep your head above water, but the Panthers came in and put themselves into a great spot in the standings. So this is a team that, we all expected to be a contender for this season and a number of years to come, and they put themselves in that mix, and I think everybody else around the league has noticed it too. So this is a team that, like I said, I expected them to be in a spot like this, and here they are.
I got to ask about the Senators-Panthers fight. What the hell happened? I've never seen anything like that in my life.
I've never seen everyone on the ice gets a 10-minute misconduct. I've also never seen the ref come over, announce the infraction, and then finish it with "among other penalties."
Right.
Never heard that phrase over
Right.
over the end. But there
It's
was
like when Dad goes, "Listen, you're not going out for 2 weeks, and I'm also thinking about other ramifications for your action."
there was a lot to sort out. There was only one actual pair of fighting majors. Matthew Tkachuk fought Jake Sanderson. Beyond that, there were no other fighting majors handed out. You just had a whole slew of misconducts. the Panthers had that game in the bag. It was, they ended up winning the game 5-0, but they were up significantly at that point. There was 7 minutes and change left in the third when all the 10-minute misconducts were handed out. And I've never seen it before, but I feel like that decision by the officials accomplished what they set out to do. Things were starting to get a little dicey. They didn't want the last 7 minutes of the game to be too out of hand. And I think by just sending everybody off, it kind of made those last 7 minutes and change go by a little bit more smoothly than maybe they would have otherwise. So again, I'd never seen it before, but yeah. I think what they set out to do, just restore order, calm things down so that we could get through the last 7.5 minutes, rather smoothly. I think they accomplished what they set out to do.
I was just looking up Tkachuk's stats because he had a slowish start goal-wise. He's got 4 goals in 24 games. That's slow start for him.
Well, he's been around a point a game all season. He's leading the Panthers in shots on net, and I think at some point he's going to have guys like that. The superstar players, their numbers are always, at the end of a year, their numbers always end up where you'd expect them to be. It just works out that way.
We just happened to see, because last season was our first season with them.
And it was a
barrage.
And it was his second straight 100-point year, but he's been around a point a game all season long. Like I said, he's getting the chances. He's been leading the team in shots on net from the outset, and it's not as if he's just launching pucks from the blue line. I mean, he's not a perimeter guy like that, so he's getting his chances from in front of the net. Eventually, he's going to have one of those 2-week spans where he scores 8 or 9 goals, and everything starts going in the net for him, and his numbers will catch back up there. But he's been playing great. He's doing everything that you'd expect him to do out there, and like I said, he's getting the chances. And it's an 82-game season. Eventually, everything evens out the way that it's supposed to, especially for a superstar player like that.
Panthers fans, again, you have tonight. Dallas Stars in town. You can come on out to Sunrise. It feels like a hockey night in South Florida. A little nip in the air.
A little cloudy out there, yeah.
And Friday night, they've got the Penguins, and then they go on the road for a long road trip again, right?
This is a sizable road trip. I believe it's actually the longest road trip of the season. It starts in Columbus, and it's an every other day swing. The Panthers play Sunday afternoon in Columbus, and then from Columbus, they'll fly right to Seattle, Vancouver, and then Edmonton, and then Calgary and back. So it's good to knock out a trip like that early in the season. The Panthers are done with Mountain and Pacific time before the All-Star break, which is big. When you're playing those big games down the stretch, it's a lot easier to travel north-south than to be crossing time zones like that when you're playing big games in the playoff race. So for the Panthers to be able to knock this trip out now, it's something that's going to benefit them.
You have any food places circled for the upcoming road trip? Is there because those cities? I mean, I guess
I love Columbus. I absolutely love Columbus. There's a really good taco place up there in downtown Columbus that I'll probably check out. Seafood in Seattle and Vancouver. That's kind of the go-to. Yeah. And then let's see, in Edmonton and Calgary, I know where there are some shawarma for lunch.
Oh, I know you like the shawarma.
Love the shawarma. I have a couple places in mind. So, and then you got Tim Hortons.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Timmy Ho's.
Lasagna?
They have the lasagna at Tim Hortons. They had it for like 6 months or so. We have Rob Pizzola comes on with us. Was on with us in the 3 o'clock hour today. He's a gambler, but he's in Toronto. And he recalls that Tim Hortons once put lasagna on the menu. And
I must have missed that.
Yeah, well, it didn't last very long. People really wanted the donuts, not so much the lasagna. I have to tell you, I know Plagens will too. I like when a place goes out of their comfort zone and launches something on the menu. I'm not saying I'm going to get it, but I remember a couple of years ago, Burger King did a big thing with hot dogs.
Yeah.
They were selling hot dogs. Who in their right mind would stop at a Burger King to get a hot dog? Like, there's very few places you want a hot dog anyway.
McDonald's chicken wings.
The roller at the gas station hot dogs. How about those?
I would never. Would you?
I did in the early 90s.
Well, I'm not talking about, when you're young and in college. And
I've brought glizzies here. Remember?
Oh, from the gas station.
I went to that gas station where
that
I
was
get the
disgusting.
cheap drinks, and I was hungry, and I was running late, and I got me 2 hot dogs, wrapped them up, and ate them right here.
That was disgusting.
I just fueled my body.
Right, but I understand, the thing with gas station roller hot dogs, you used to not be able to get food on every corner, at every stop.
I remember in 1991, I thought, I was in first grade, but I remember thinking, wow, 2 hot dogs for $1 at 7-Eleven. That's a steal.
But now
You wanted it.
like
Yeah.
you can stop at the gas station and get a hot dog on a roller, but
Or a
guarantee
taquito.
you, or a taquito.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, within 1/10 of a mile of that location, there is actual food. So I don't know who would get the hot dog on the roller.
But the hot dog on the
They're
roller.
tasty if they're turning them, if they're
Yep.
moving that inventory.
And
Yeah.
they've been there for 2-3 hours, so that little skin is
That
crisp.
so you want it to be,
The
to have
crisp-
had a shelf life.
Oh, the
Yeah.
crisp skin. Maybe put a Dorito crumple on there.
What is happening here?
I'm not opposed to the roller dog. I haven't had one in a long time, but I'd have one with you.
I'm not certain. I've-
Taco Bell is a delicacy, but a hot dog is terrible. Come on
Taco
now.
Bell has made their millions, billions on tacos. Gas stations are selling gas. And then they happen to have a hot dog roller because they had extra space. It was like, oh, what else? We can only have so much wiper fluid in
You
here.
just said.
Hey,
you love-
Hal, the
Well,
wiper
they're selling.
fluid.
The gas stations are selling more than gas because I see the buffet of snack food items that you guys have out here.
I don't know
Gotta
about the
go off
roller
the beaten
dogs.
path.
I don't know about the roller dogs. Anyway,
The soda fountain at the gas station. Love
well,
that.
you love a soda fountain with the
Love that.
free refill. You know what I think? I said this earlier. The Taco Bell, it's a little cutesy with the Baja Blast and all this nonsense. Hey, give me a
Baja Blast Zero is good stuff.
Give me a traditional soda or give me a freestyle machine. I don't need all that.
I like the Baja Blast Zero is
hoo-ha.
good.
They have the
Over there at
Pepsi,
Taco
though,
Bell.
there. I don't like Pepsi. Yeah. All right. We've covered a lot of ground.
The Pepsi Coke debate has gone on forever, though.
Well, I don't understand anyone in their right mind choosing Pepsi over Coke.
Got the brown sugar flavor
Of
brown sugar.
no, of which
Oh, Pepsi has brown sugar.
That's their
That's the argument.
uniqueness. Okay.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to be. Coke is normal sugar, and Pepsi has a little brown sugar.
yeah,
to
I'm
it.
not so certain.
You're a racist.
All right. Well, Doug Plagens. All of a sudden, you see on the video, Plagens just sprinting.
I can't do.
Matthew Kachuk, 3.5 shots on goal. What do you think?
I don't deal with
All
custom fractions.
right.
Take that someplace else.
Doug Plagens. Listen to him tonight. Game will be on AM 790. You can watch the game on TNT. No Bally Sports tonight. TNT. Thank you, Plagens. Have a good call tonight.
Thank you very much. We'll talk to you guys soon.